Hi everybody, how you doing today? Welcome to Sorare MLB Game Week 11 lineup setting. A little preview ahead of the weekend. Let's get into it and see what we're going to do here. We got champion right off the bat. I don't love the pitching matchups this weekend, so good luck with whatever you decide to do, but this is kind of where I'm at. We got Jacob Mizorowski right here, or Brian Wu. I think I'm going Miz for my first one on the weekend here. Now we're thinking Johan Duran might be back up. Now it's pushed back a little bit, so I'm not putting him in the lineup. I do kind of like Ryan Helsley, Cade Smith, Andres Munoz. Munoz might be my pick here. The Mariners are off today on Thursday, so there's a chance that he might be back for the weekend. Although I also like Cade Smith against the A's, but we are going Munoz for this first lineup. Now, typically I do start off by using my in-season cards, and I'll show you why I use the in-season cards for my regular position plays here. And we'll go further here. So we're looking, we got Matt Olson and the Braves out at Colorado. Colorado's pitching has been very improved this year, and their offense is getting a little better, so I'm not totally sure on that one. We'll go through here. It likes the projections like Bryce Harper at Miami. Let's see what else we got that looks interesting for the weekend. I think I am going to ride for this top lineup here with Matt Olson. Give him the run. Middle infield. I've had pretty good success with McGonigal this year. I recently picked up a Shea Langeliers via Kraft. Bryce Terang at Washington could be a fun one. You know what? We are going to go with Bryce. I do like the Brewers out there in DC. Outfield position. All right, well, we got Judge home against the Orioles. Orioles pitching has been pretty rough, so I kind of lean that one. We're going with some of the usual suspects in here. We're going Judge. And then I always try to do, with my Ohtani, I try to put him in this spot, if I can spell correctly here. We got the Dodgers playing the Cardinals this weekend, so we're going to throw Ohtani into the hitter spot. And then with this one, going back. Now, I lean Acuna on this one. I was going to do Acuna or Schwarber, but we'll save Schwarber for my other lineups here, so we'll go with that. That's our first champion lineup. So for the purpose of this video, we're just going to stick to the champion lineups here. Those are the ones I recommend personally as top, with if you have a larger gallery like I do. Going back to Brian Wu here, playing home against KC. Brian Wu recently had a thing where everybody was talking about his biceps, so hoping he has a strong performance this weekend, pun intended. Let's go with, we got Bednar or Helsley. Or we could do Cade Smith again. I do have another Cade Smith. There we are. We're going to ride with Cade. We'll give him a shot. Jose Ramirez. And this is where it gets a little interesting here. Drake Baldwin isn't having the best week currently, but again, he is playing Colorado. But again, Colorado has been an improved version of Colorado this year, so good for them. We are going to play the odds, though, and get Drake in there. And then we got Schwarber, most likely. And then Ohtani. And now for my flex position, this is where it gets a little tricky here. So now I do have a classic Acuna that I could toss out there, but I'm already using Ohtani in my classic spot, so that's null and void right now. So let's kind of scroll down a little bit and see some of the options we got here. I am tempted to personally lean with Byron Buxton in this situation, but we're going to go with Munetaka Murakami. Been a solid player. If you don't have a Munetaka Murakami, I don't know what you're doing in this game. He hits dingers, so he's a plug and play almost every week, guaranteed. Now I'm glad I got him when I did. I do happen to have the number 1 serial on that one. I did a little research in the offseason on Munetaka Murakami and got him locked up right away. I'm going Miz again. He can be very hit or miss. But he is making the lineup. Now, let's see here. Taking our chances with Bednar. Now, Bednar is a tricky one because the Orioles' pitching has been pretty bad, so it might not necessarily be a save position for him over the weekend, but we are going to take our chances on that. Ooh, I do like Christian Walker here playing at Boston. So we'll pivot a little bit, get him in the mix. Looking at our corner spots, I do not trust the Trey Turner projections here, which means he will go off at some point, but he has been pretty disappointing. CJ Abrams has been a little down this game week, but he has been one of my main guys most of the season, so I'm going to go with him. Let's see here. We will take Bellinger. And this is where I'm going to slide in my classic Acuna. Ronald, not Luis Angel. And then in my last spot, throw a little hometown love. We have some decent weather here. Byron Buxton against the Toronto Blue Jays is my pick for that spot. Buxton has had this weird thing this year where he has been pretty successful hitting home runs. He just hasn't hit any with anybody on base, which is so strange to me. But we're hoping the Buck truck gets it going this weekend. Insert your truck noise right there. Curious to see what you're thinking, how your lineups are looking this weekend. If you have any pitcher suggestions, drop them in the comments. Like, subscribe. Thanks for coming out today. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one.